grabbed that door. I don't know, somehow they managed to unlock it, opened it, dragged him out the car, started beating him up in front of the 7-year-old boys, and, you know, another 3 guys joined in and went in on my dad. Hi, yeah, my name is Tebogo. I just turned 40 this year in June 2019, and yeah, I'm in the entertainment industry, more specifically the music side of things. I'm a singer, composer, music director if needed to be, but otherwise I'm just a general loving person, yeah. Father of 2 and a beautiful wife. Okay. What is the best piece of advice you've received? Oh, advice. I guess the best one so far that's been relevant to me is just let it flow. You know, do not resist. Just let it flow, and the answers will come. You know, and it's very relevant to me right now because spiritually I'm going through something where literally when I turn 40 now, my spiritual sort of journey enhanced more, you know, and I found that when I stopped resisting, a lot of the answers came, a lot of the things that I questioned myself about, the answers came. Okay. How old would you be if you didn't know how old you are? Wow. You know, in many ways, I feel I've just hit my 20s, man. You know, I guess I feel that there's still a lot that I can learn, that I'm still experiencing. I don't feel I've explored as much of life yet. I think in many ways I've been preserved for something special. Still not sure what that is yet, you know. But I would say, yeah, I feel like I'm in my 20s, man. I feel like I've just, you know, come out of my teens, so to speak. What does being human mean to you? Mean to me? Wow. Being human. Wow. You know, they say we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And I would like to believe that the important parts of being human, I guess, is for all of us to have compassion towards each other, a sense of love, a sense of equanimity. You know, I think the world would be such an easier place to exist in if those kind of things were, well, it's things that we have, but I think maybe we lost along the way because we reference ourselves against what other human experiences are. There's a serious lack of compassion generally, which we need to remember as human beings, I think. What's the difference between being alive and truly living? Wow. I just recently, well, it's been a year now where I've gotten into meditation, you know, and through meditation so far, and I mean, I'm still at my very young stages, you know, it's barely been a year, you know, but one thing I've realized is that in order to really feel like you're alive, you need to recognize your being, you know, and I found that when I eventually got into a meditative state, you know, one was able to understand now why we breathe. Something as simple as breathing, you know, or something as simple as why can my hand or my fingers do this and why do they do that? You know, certain things which we take for granted. So, yeah, I feel like now I'm starting to understand what being alive is and being present, you know. I'm not sure if I answered that question. Okay. Wow. If you could offer a newborn child only one piece of advice, what would it be? That's a sensitive question. you know. I mean, I guess it goes on the age, but for them to trust their instinct, man, you know, to a point where obviously at a young age, there's still a lot that's you're bombarded with information and advice and you know influences of all sorts, you know, and to filter all that out at such a young age, especially nowadays with the kind of bombardment that the kids get, you know. So I'd advise them to trust their inner filter. I don't know if they would understand what I'm saying when I say that, but trust their inner filter. Trust that with all that information coming in, if something doesn't feel right, reject it. But if something feels right, let it in, give it a chance, you know? And yeah, trust the heart, man, you know? Let the spirit teach the mind to follow the heart. And hopefully they decipher it as they grow up. Okay. Share an experience you've had in your life that has taught you a lesson that you'll forever cherish. Yeah. Hey?
Only as much as you're comfortable.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of one that just it's the only first one that's coming to mind now, and I guess it's always stuck there, and it's dictated the kind of person I am towards others, and you know, yeah, I think I was about 7 years old, and we were coming from, I was with my dad, my cousins, they're all about the same age, and my brother was 13. He was 13 at the time. And we in the East Rand, we're driving from Don Park side of the world through to KwaThema. So it's the whole East Rand vibes. 7 years old, so this is like mid-80s or mid to late 80s. So we're traveling along this road, and there was a car that was turning to go the opposite direction, but it wasn't fully out of our range. So as we were driving, we sort of nicked it, the backside of the car, right? Obviously, the immediate thing would be, okay, no, we got to stop and see, like, you know, and talk to the people and hear some figure out. But we actually looked at the people inside the car. They looked like the most intimidating, RV beer, take no nonsense, kick every little black person you can find kind of people. So the instinct my dad decided was, let's just carry on driving. We're not going to stop, you know? So as we were going, we were about to enter KwaThema, the township KwaThema, right? Which is our destination. The same car cut us off just as we were about to enter the township, cut us off. So I guess my dad felt that, okay, no, we're close to Kasi, so let's hear what they have to say, kind of thing, right? So I'm in the back seat behind my dad. I see these guys come out the car. One of them, big fat guy, holding those knopkiri, you know, those police batons. So he's a cop, right? And it looked like he's walking with his dad. There was a gray bearded guy there, but I think there was 4 of them, all red, clearly angry and wanting to mess things up. So they come out the car. I saw this. I locked my dad's door, because he was about to, like, you know, come out and speak to them or whatever. These guys grabbed that door. I don't know. Somehow they managed to unlock it, opened it, dragged him out the car, started beating him up in front of the 7-year-old boys, and, you know. Then out of the blue, another car came and stopped. Another 3 guys joined in and went in on my dad. So somehow somebody from the guys, he saw this happening, and then a whole crowd of people started coming through. Thank God. These guys realized this and obviously took off. So, I mean, you can imagine I'm the 7-year-old, and I just started at a multiracial school. So, you know, I've just got into contact with white kids, you know, or other races anyway. from a schooling perspective. And we experienced this, and I had nothing but hate. As the 7-year-old, and I was just angry, But my father, so in my head, I'm thinking, how am I going to get to school and interact with these kids? Kids that, in my mind at the time, hurt my father. So the thing that changed the whole thing around, my father was like on some, you know what? It's the individuals that did this. It's not the race. I was not attacked by a race. I was attacked by ignorant individual people. So your school friends were not there, so they had nothing to do with it. So I think from that day up, I was able to avoid stereotyping and not generalizing, but appreciate every individual sort of experience, from that young age. And I think that gave me also a tolerance kind of attitude. I could tolerate a whole lot of things. So even after then, there would be a lot of racist bashes or whatever. But I managed to not generalize it as, yes, it's these people are like this.